Namaskar. My name is Anuradha and I'm here on behalf of the Gnostic Center from Delhi. To give an overview of integral education, that is the philosophy which has emerged from the writings and works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. I would first like you to focus on what is education. As you may know, the root of the word is in Latin, educere or educare. Educere means a drawing out or leading out of that which is within. Educare has a different meaning. It is to train or to mold. So we see that whereas the educare meaning has been emphasized in education over the ages, the educare meaning has not been given its rightful place, except in maybe the ancient traditions. Now, this is where integral education positions itself. It doesn't mean that educare is not important, but the central core is to draw out that which is within, and then around it to train that which is without. Now, what needs to be drawn out? What is within? So obviously it is hidden, not so obvious. That's why it needs to be drawn out. There are deeper realities in our being, which is our eternal being, the true being, the psychic, as the Mother calls it. And that is the place which holds the purpose of our life, our true nature, our entire future, how it is supposed to be. Were we to be in harmony with these inner realities, with the divine, with a higher truth. What needs to be trained or crafted is that which is without. And what is without? All that we are normally aware of. Our mind, the cognitive faculties, our thoughts, opinions, our nature, our emotional being, the vital, the energies of action, our impulses and desires, our actions, reactions, relationships, interactions, our behavior and habits, our physical being. So the physical, vital, mental. This covers the outer being. So then what becomes the aim of education? Drawing out of that which is within and training or crafting, refining, sculpting that which is without. Why is there a need of education? Why does society give importance to education and creates institutions for it? What is the real need? We are too entrenched in the outer, too ignorant of the inner. The outer is wayward, fickle, uncertain, ignorant of the future, ignorant of who we are and what is our purpose. Therefore, it is always or most often at a loss when faced with challenges, difficulties, crises, decisions. There is no certitude. To arrive at a certitude, we have to come in contact with and act from something which is sure, unchanging, constant, fixed, clear. And that is our inner being, the psychic. That needs to be drawn out because it is very quiet, not at all imposing itself. It is the true leader, and yet it behaves not at all like a leader as we know it. It doesn't impose itself, doesn't push itself in front, doesn't insist or clamor, doesn't dominate. It needs to be evoked. Conditions need to be created so that it comes forward, shows itself, takes the lead. It is not that it does not guide us, but we are too busy listening to the outer, looking at the outer, acting from the outer, to listen to its quiet voice. Therefore, the need of education, what the mother calls psychic education, which is all about drawing this inner presence out, making it stronger, letting this flame grow within us, consume our entire being. And the mental, vital, physical education to train these outer instruments, to listen to the psychic, to serve the psychic, to do its command. This is the tapasya of knowledge, wisdom, truth, harmony, power, dynamic action, certitude, beauty. This is what integral education aims at and facilitates. Now, this kind of education seems very different from what normally happens, whether in the West or in the East, in our present day. We may speak about it, we may nostalgize about the past, the greatness of India, the ancient civilizations, their depth, their beauty, their wisdom. But all our education is focused on power, success, money, career, jobs, being right, fear of failure, competition. A far cry from the ideal of education. If we were to follow this ideal, implement it, can it be done in our day-to-day life, in our present schools? If life is to be lived with the whole of our being, education is a means to put us in touch with our wholeness and to act from our wholeness. Now, what is the aim of life? If we have only one life, the question is, why do we have it? Is it to fritter away or to make something noble, worthwhile, beautiful out of it and to add to the goodness and beauty of creation? If we want to do that, education is required because our whole being is not like that. Our outer being is definitely not like that. There are glimpses of it, but to always act like that, be poised in this kind of consciousness, a training is needed. And then to draw upon the inner resources, a training is needed. To meet the challenges of life, to act from a poise of certitude, calmness, wisdom, clarity, training is needed. If we have more than one life and there is a continuum, the question is, what continues and what is its purpose? Education is a means to bring us in touch with that truth, with that part of us which continues, which knows, to turn our entire being towards it and to express it in all our actions. Even to prepare our being to go beyond this life and to continue the journey consciously in other lives. This is what integral education refers to. Who can provide such an education? Do our teacher training courses prepare us for it? The B.Ed, the M.Ed, doctorate, do they prepare us for it? And were these degrees needed by the Vedic rishis who were walking the path and preparing the students to do the same? Not at the cost of the outer excellence, please remember. Because the kings used to send their children to these rishis, not just to learn meditation, obviously, but to learn about all of life, to learn the art of ruling even. So there was an integration between the outer and the inner, which we have somehow lost. So the person who can provide such an education has to be in touch with both these realities in oneself, so that they can then recognize and evoke and train the same in the students. They may not be perfect, but they must be walking the path. Be aware of this entire scope, not just theoretically, as a book you have read or a workshop you have attended, but as an experience you've had. And you can tap into that, just like as parents or elders. If a child comes to us with a life problem, it is only because we have experienced that we can draw upon our wisdom and give some advice, guide. Similarly, to be able to do this, we have to be able to draw upon our inner experience of working on ourselves to be able to guide anybody. Now, what place does contemporary education have in it, in this journey? Do we need special schools, special institutes? At one level, yes. To do really justice to it, yes. But then, hardly anybody would begin. So a bridge has to be created. Anything and everything can become a means to practice it, to prepare ourselves for it, to apply as much of it as we can. Aurobindo has said, all life is yoga. And both Mother and Aurobindo have emphasized the extreme importance of the change of consciousness, change of nature, not by withdrawing from life, but by being engaged in life and doing everything from a deeper voice, with a self-mastery, a self-awareness. So all the problems that come, all the relationships, all the questions that come to us every day, we can refer to this inner reality within us, find an answer, and try and act from it. We can become aware of what happens in our being, what are the contradictions, and how to harmonize them. What is the ideal that we want to serve, and how far is our behavior, our emotions, our desires, our aspirations from that ideal. So this is a whole journey. So integral education begins with myself first. And therefore it becomes both easy and difficult, because we are used to looking for answers, solutions, which we can immediately apply as a formula to our children, to the students. This is not what integral education gives us initially. Yes, you may pick up a book on integral education and apply it to children, but it will be lifeless, soulless. In fact, it will be a punishment, an artificiality. So please remember, one has to walk the path. So whatever sessions you do in these 2 days, learn from it for yourself. Don't be in a hurry how to apply it to children or to students. I would like to show you a short film, a multimedia presentation that the Gnostic Center made many years ago, a new education for a new India, which presents the concept and the need for integral education. I would like you to see it, reflect on it, and carry it with you to see what you can implement from it in your life. It can help you to understand the sessions that will unfold. So let's watch the film.